The moment that you return to living instead of waiting, you see that life will begin to have a flow. You can't sit around and wait for something to happen, because if you do, life is passing you by. What if the reason you're waiting isn't because your desire hasn't arrived yet? What if it's because unconsciously you have made waiting part of your identity? You know that saying, hurry up and wait. People feel like I'm hurry up and waiting. I'm just hurry up and waiting. People think that that's manifesting, but what it's really doing is putting you in an energy of not yet. When you are waiting, when you are hoping, when you are looking and you are wondering how things are going to happen in your life, what you really are subconsciously saying is, it just has not happened yet. And when you feel like it hasn't happened yet, it's not going to happen. However, when you get into position of, I'm not waiting, I'm experiencing, and I know that this is my identity, things begin to change. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are new here, my name is Fran. I created this channel to help bridge the spiritual with the physical so that you could live and create and manifest your best life ever. I am glad that you're here. Many of us don't realize that when we say things like, I'm waiting for money, I'm waiting for a relationship, I'm waiting for the right opportunity, I'm waiting for the right person, I'm waiting for, what your subconscious mind hears is that I am a person who waits. And if you notice, you find yourself waiting on things to happen, some of which never happen, because your identity says, I am a person who waits for things. As long as you're putting that energy into the universe, it's going to return to you. What I think a lot of people don't understand or realize is that everything that we think becomes part of our identity, because everything that we say subconsciously seeps into every part of our soul. We are divine beings who are connected to higher consciousness, connected to God, and God is within us. So everything that we are saying begins to create, because we are co-creators. So if your self-identity says, I'm someone who's always waiting, I'm waiting on good things to happen, you're gonna find yourself constantly waiting. The version of you that already has it, she's not waiting, she's living. She is operating from a place of being the exact thing that she desires to be. She's not waiting until something happens for her to express that this is who I am. When you're waiting, what you're doing is you're postponing things. So basically, it's like, when this happens, I'll be happy. When this happens, I'll be happy. A lot of people say, when I have a lot of money, I'll be happy. When I have this, I'll be happy. But in all reality, if you're not already happy, no matter what reality you're in, you're not going to be happy. There is not a thing outside of you that is going to make you happy. Happiness is a choice, just like everything else in your life is a choice. But when you are waiting, you're just postponing your joy, your happiness, your life. When you're postponing, you're living in a very stagnant space, a space that says, I'll just sit here and wait until everything is perfect. Your higher self, yourself in a parallel universe, is already living, doing, being everything that you desire. You just haven't caught up yet. When you catch up, you change your perception about the life that you're now living. Whatever you focus on is going to manifest and grow. So if you're focusing on, I don't have this, I'm waiting for this to happen, you're going to find yourself waiting. But if you focus on, I am this person, I align with this identity, being in alignment with the identity of yourself that you desire to be, meaning I'm not waiting to be her, I am her, so I'm going to get into alignment with that energy. What does that person do? The person that you desire to be, what does she do? I can tell you that if she is a business owner, she's not sitting around waiting for decisions. If she is a woman who is in love, she is taking care of herself. She looks like love. She feels like love. If she is a person who has millions of dollars in the bank, she's not sitting around fretting about how she's going to pay her bills. Your identity to how you feel dictates the life you live. And I know that some people think, well, how can I do that when my reality says this? Just because you begin to align with a different identity doesn't mean that immediately outside circumstances are going to change. Your inside circumstance change. You understand what I mean? You begin to think, instead of, oh my gosh, this is so bad, if I just had more money, that changes to, everything works out for me. It doesn't even matter what it looks like right now because I know that it's already worked out in my favor. Your inner dialogue begins to change. How you communicate begins to change. Your environment changes. People you talk to changes. How you talk changes when you begin to identify with the higher self, your higher self. I want to remind you that manifestation responds to who you are now, not to who you are becoming. Because whatever you are now is what you are going to attract. So, changing the identity of what you now are living, if it doesn't work for you, is key to having what you desire to have. When I first started my business, I remember asking myself, what would my life look like if I was a rich entrepreneur? What would I be doing on a daily basis? The first thing that I started to do was get up early. Now, mind you, I was already getting up early. So 6:30 became 5:30. It gave me extra time. I started getting in the mindset of, I don't want to sleep the day away. I want to be up. I want to be up early. And I want to be able to do things and not rush. A rich entrepreneur is not rushing. Her day is planned and it is laid out. So I started getting up early. I started taking earlier exercise classes. I started feeding my body better. I always ask my guides, how should I intuitively eat? What should I be eating to nourish my body? And every time I was given instruction on, you need to eliminate this and maybe add this, etc., etc. So my life started looking different from someone who was just starting a business to someone who already had a 6 or 7 figure business. I started behaving like that. I started getting in environments and places and around people, talking to people, talking about myself, talking about what I did, listening to what people did. But I didn't get around people like me who were already starting businesses. I got around people who were established. People who could work out at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the day, didn't have to rush back to a job. I got around women who were driving the types of cars that I wanted, who lived in the type of homes that I wanted. I began to identify with those people, and I became that person. I became that person before my reality reflected that I was that person. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's simply you getting your journal, writing it down. Who am I becoming? What would happen in my life if everything looked like this? Who would I be? What would I change? And start changing small habits that begin to transform you into the version of your higher self. The moment that you return to living instead of waiting, you see that life will begin to have a flow. You can't sit around and wait for something to happen, because if you do, life is passing you by. So I'm not telling you to jump up and quit your job and start a business. I'm not telling you to, leave this partner because it's not working and go find a new partner. What I'm telling you to do is start being an active participant in your life. Stop waiting for things to happen for you and to you, and start living as if they already are. Because you already are everything you need to be. All right, you guys. I will talk to you soon. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Bye for now.